Have you ever wondered what secrets the city holds when the sun goes down? As the last rays of the sun fade, the city dons a different persona. It's a world where shadows stretch and streetlights flicker, a canvas painted with a palette of urban horror. In this world, our protagonist, a young man working the night shift, finds himself. Every evening, as the city slips into darkness, he embarks on his journey home. The familiar streets he navigates by day transform into an entirely different beast at night. The cityscape, once bustling with life, now lies eerily silent. Buildings tower ominously overhead, their windows dark and vacant. Strange sounds echo in the distance, their origins unknown, and the protagonist starts noticing oddities, as if the city itself whispers secrets meant only for him. Inexplicable shadows, fleeting figures in the corner of his eye, an unsettling sense that he's not alone. And so, our protagonist's nightly journey takes on an eerie, unsettling edge. As the city sleeps, something else awakens. A peculiar sense of unease starts to creep in, like a cold winter's breeze that chills to the bone. Our protagonist begins to perceive oddities that don't belong in the realm of the ordinary. Shadows, those silent companions of light, begin to dance on their own, independent of their creators. A disquieting ballad in the dead of night. Then there are the sounds. Distant screams, like whispers carried by the wind, echo through the empty streets. They are voices filled with terror, yet their source remains an enigma, lost in the labyrinth of the city's concrete jungle. Each scream, each cry, weaves a chilling symphony of dread that reverberates in the night. And let's not forget the cold spots, pockets of frost in unexpected places, as if invisible ice sculptures were scattered around the city. Our protagonist can feel these cold spots, like ghostly fingertips brushing against his skin. The thermometer may not register it, but he can feel it, the frosty bite of the unseen. The frequency of these strange occurrences escalates, and with each passing moment, the tension builds. It's like a coiled spring, wound tight, ready to release. The protagonist's fear grows, a tangible thing, almost a living entity in itself. It's a palpable dread that gnaws at his sanity, threatening to swallow him whole. But nothing could have prepared him for what was about to come. And then, one night, it happened. The protagonist, once an ordinary individual like any of us, found himself face to face with the unthinkable. As the moon hung low in the sky, a chilling wind whispered through the deserted streets, carrying with it a sense of dread that was impossible to shake off. In the murky darkness, a figure emerged. It wasn't human, nor was it animal. It was an entity of pure terror, a horrifying manifestation of the unknown. It was the source of all the disturbances that had been plaguing our protagonist, an entity that was beyond his understanding, beyond anyone's understanding. Its form was nebulous, shifting and undulating in the darkness. Its eyes, if you could call them that, were like two burning embers in the night, radiating an icy cold that could freeze even the bravest of hearts. Its presence was oppressive, a heavy weight that seemed to suck the very life out of the surroundings. The entity moved closer, each step a deliberate echo of menace. It was a creature out of your worst nightmares, a being that could make your blood run cold with just a glance. Its voice, a guttural whisper that seemed to resonate from the very depths of hell itself, filled the air with an ominous hum. In the face of such horror, he could only stand frozen. What was this entity? Why was it haunting him? The questions hung heavily in the air, laden with dread and uncertainty. Our protagonist, once a beacon of confidence, now found himself submerged in a sea of confusion and fear. His quest for answers was a fruitless one, each door he knocked on leading only to more questions. His world had been turned upside down and inside out, leaving him to question the very fabric of his reality. The entity, whatever it was, had burrowed deep into his psyche, casting a shadow over his sanity. It was a chilling narrative that played out, one that left even the bravest among us teetering on the edge of our seats. His fear was palpable, his uncertainty infectious. It was a terror that consumed him, that threatened to swallow him whole. And as he stepped into the ominous night once more, he knew the terror was far from over.